After a week of being red-pilled, my wife initiated. What is it we do in the red pill? We swap notes. Now, I'm sure people have heard all kinds of different stories about us, but I'm here to give you a glimpse inside the locker room. Here, we're going to discuss the field reports that happened a few years back. Brand new guys who are trying to learn the strategies that we talk about. Who am I? I used to be one of these brand new guys. I, like you, was pretty good at women and relationships, but I wasn't great at it. Hard times hit, things got tough, and it turns out there's nowhere for a man to go nowadays that actually wants him to succeed, to thrive, to get better at what he does and improve his lot in life. So, like most guys, I took it upon myself, found a bunch of guys in the same boat as me, and together we built a set of working strategies based on the experience of hundreds of thousands of men, just like us. Men swapping notes, iron sharpening iron. Welcome to the locker room. After a week of being red-pilled, my wife initiated. I stumbled upon this place and gave my first and only victim puke a week ago. The long and short of it, I'm a 23-year-old virgin who's been married for a year, and I've been beta as hell my whole life. Ever since then, I started reading No More Mr. Nice Guy, and I started lifting. I'm doing strong lifts 5x5 plus one extra workout for my core. I'm still a complete noob, but I can definitely feel good changes coming to my mood and some daily assertiveness. Tonight, after working out till 2 a.m., I came home, and my wife surprisingly greeted me, turned out all the lights, and said to me she's been very horny today. She wants to try it with me. It totally shocked me. She's never been like this before, not even close. And to be honest, I even felt a bit disgusted by it. After flat out rejecting her, she ran to our bed and covered herself. While I'm staring at my laptop, I'm still trying to digest what just happened. I'm not sure why I'm feeling this way, but I'm happy about the positive changes that this place is bringing me. However, what's the married, red-pilled way to salvage a broken sex life like this? Should I actually man up and try it? The reason why I felt disgusted, by the way, is that I felt I was being objectified as a sex tool, but I don't know if that feeling is justified at all. Thanks. A quick update for you. I'm no longer a virgin as of 10 minutes ago. I'll let you guys know more next time, but wow, thanks. Strong Lifts 5x5. It's the workout program we recommend to anybody who's brand new to this space because it's the very simplest, time-tested, and foundational workout program that we found gives the best results for guys to give them a nice base of strength. Depending on your goals, there's always going to be a better workout program, but this one is impossible to screw up. It's the 5 main lifts, 5 sets of 5 reps. Like I said, easy. The end of the day, you're going to find from somebody, and that's why you're going to see a lot of these reports have people posting their bench press, their deadlift. It's to show that if a guy can at least go to the gym 3 times a week, then he's willing to put in some effort on his own life. If a guy can't even bother to do that much, then it's usually a waste of everybody's time to give him advice because he's not going to do that either. Self-sabotage. It's not a term that he uses, but it's something he explains, so I thought it good to have a definition. If you'll notice in here, his whole goal was to have sex with his wife. Now, the one time she actually initiates it, he actually goes out of his way to not only ruin the experience, but to turn her off from ever even think of trying it again. For a lot of these cases, it really is just that simple. Guys make it so hard on themselves that they cannot win, and then they sulk and they complain that they're not winning. Sometimes it really is easy enough as just getting out of your own way. LARPing. LARPing was a term, it stood for live action role playing. It was about a bunch of guys who dressed up in wizard hats and swords and went out to fight each other in a field. In the context of a relationship, what it means here is somebody who puts the proper words together to suggest that things are working, but it doesn't align with reality. Essentially, he's creating himself his own fantasy, or he's live action role playing. There is plenty of advice for this guy, and I love this story because it's so out there. It's such an extreme example. It really does show what we talk about here in such stark terms. First off, the fact that he's a virgin before getting married shows that he's already sacrificing his sexual strategy. Most red-pilled men will tell you not to get married for reasons that's outside the scope of this video. But if you are, not finding out if you're sexually compatible with somebody is a huge, huge problem. Now, I guarantee that his wife in this example was not. Now, I guarantee his wife had a lot of experience and she grabbed him being a safe second option, and there's most likely a lot of religious indoctrination with this guy. The fact that he has been so turned off by sex for his entire life shows that when it's actually offered within the moral framework that I guarantee you he's been exposed to since he was a child, he doesn't know how to deal with it, and he essentially rejects her. This is one of those Madonna and whore type situations where you think of women either as the whore of Babylon or the Virgin Madonna. In his case, mentally, he's not even mature enough to have a relationship. So my advice to him is you shouldn't have ever even been in this situation, and you definitely shouldn't have put up with it for a year. So the takeaway for anybody looking at this one is to not accept subpar deal. In this case, the guy has a very glaring problem, is that he's getting absolutely zero sex in his life from within a Christian monogamous relationship. That is an absolute perversion of any type of human nature, and probably of Christianity too, because I'm pretty sure they want you to have 8 or 9 kids post haste. Work on the fields, you get it. The second takeaway from this is about leadership. He's got so little experience when it comes to the bedroom and with relationships that she's looking for him to lead, and he has no idea what he's doing. She attempted to lead, and he completely kiboshed that. At this point, the lesson for you is just don't be this guy. An alternative roadmap for somebody in this situation, even if you're one of those I'm saving it till marriage guys, and I don't know why you would be, and if you are, I don't know why you're listening to me, but assuming all that stuff happened, here we go. There is plenty of workarounds that good Christian people have been using since the dawn of time. I'm sure you've heard of the anything but Catholic girls. Talk with a Muslim guy, he'll talk a lot about the kind of things that they did instead of intercourse, as well as Christians. Even if you decide that you're not going to have intercourse prior to get married, you should at least have sexual experience in all those it's okay, Jesus won't mind scenarios. Because if you don't, you're going to end up stunted, completely unable to handle an adult relationship, and completely unable to lead one. If you're really the kind of guy who's looking for your virginal Christian wife, you cannot expect her to lead you in a relationship to any level of success. They're just not geared for it. They have zero experience and zero practice. So on this note, like I said, this one's a bit of a weird one, but it kind of made me laugh, and it's something that you can keep in mind a lot of the time when the traditional conservatives or tradcons keep talking about marriage being wonderful and sex being yucky. Think about this poor guy and where all their advice was when he needed it. On that note, I'll leave you guys to it. I hope you enjoyed this one. Again, shout out to the Patreon community. Without their support, none of this would be possible, and I'm looking forward to talking to them on Friday for the private Q&A. Feel free to come by, take a look, join up. It's the price of a cup of coffee, and it's well worth your time for the content alone. On that note, take care, guys. Cheers. A little something I'd like to add to the end of this one. I know chances are if you're a regular, normal person reading this field report, watching this video, you're probably thinking about what the guy should have done. One thing I want you to take away from these videos in general, and it's very important, is that there's no should in all this stuff. Nobody can tell you what it is you want. All they can do is, once you've decided on a path, give you some strategies or at least share their experiences on how they got there. When you look at these things, especially the ones that I have that are a little further around the margins, kind of like this example, try to keep any moral indignation out of it. The focus here is strictly on strategy. Now, you don't have to like a lot of the guys and a lot of their choices, but you'd be surprised what you could learn from somebody that you probably morally have an issue with.